Hi there, it's Miriam Schulman again, and welcome back to my studio. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. I know we all have such busy lives, so I'm really appreciative and grateful that you've chosen to spend this time with me, and I hope to make the most out of our time together. This is video 3 of our 4-part video series, and this is the art supply video. If you want to learn all the exact pens, markers, journals, and every other kind of supply I use for art journaling, stay tuned. So before we talk about what you're going to learn today, I just want to quickly review what we've already talked about. In video 1, we talked about why you art journal. I also gave you a quick mixed media mantra maker, so you can create your own beautiful poetic mantras to put into your journal or just to keep you motivated, however you want to use the mantras. If you haven't had a chance to watch that, I think right there, there's a link to video 1. In video 2, I dug really deep into goal setting. Now, the reason I chose to talk about goal setting is because that is a really big part of how I use my art journal. And a lot of the pages I do are actually about my intentions and my goal setting and my mantra. And really, a mantra really is just a goal in itself. When you're saying choose joy, that's a goal. So we dug really deep into that, and I hope you learned a lot and got inspired by that lesson. If you haven't had a chance to watch that, right up there's a link to video 2. Today is video number 3. So today is all about art supplies. So if you are interested in art supplies, that's what we're going to talk about today. In addition, I'm also going to share with you what journal I'm using right now to practice my lettering, and I've discovered a lot of lettering techniques in preparation for this course. So I'm really excited to share with you the journal that I'm using right now, and I'm also going to give you a tip on how to prepare it so that your pages don't bleed. And another tip you're going to learn, I know a lot of you said that you struggle with getting your letters straight, or you start and they start going off the page. So the tips I'm going to share with you are going to definitely help you with that. Now, who is this training not for? So I am not about teaching how to do the type of lettering that's going to become a logo or calligraphy. So I'm teaching the type of lettering that's more free and more artistic and approachable, something that you can do, anyone can do. So whether you have been painting 1 year, 5 years, or 10 years, or just started, it's really not going to matter. So the type of art lettering, creative lettering that I'm going to teach you is the type of lettering that you can use in your journals. You can use this type of lettering to add to your canvases or your background pages to make art. You could use it for cards, but like I said, if you're looking for a professional typography lettering course, then what I'm going to share with you today, not for you. Before we dive into the art supplies, I just wanted to share a little story. I did an art journal either before 2000. I just started at the end of 2013. So I know what you might be thinking, like, okay, well, it's okay for you, Miriam. You learned it so fast because you're an artist. And there may be some truth to that. But my 15-year-old daughter is not an artist. She plays the cello, so she's a musician, so she's creative, but I'm assuming everyone who showed up today is creative somehow in their life, whether it's cooking or gardening, or you're an artist too. And we both started off in the same place. And a few years later, I helped her develop a methodology to create this journaling practice. She was once in the same place you are right now, where she didn't know what to write. She didn't know how to write, and together I showed her how to develop a lettering practice and a journaling practice that she finds fulfilling. It helps her relieve the stress when she was a senior in high school, going through that whole college search process, and it's helping her with her stress right now in college. But life is stressful no matter what age you are. We all have stress in our life, so it's great to have a creative outlet where you can decompress and use an art journal for that process. So that is the process that I'm going to teach you, and that is the process that I want to share with you today. So I've shared with you a few tips about that in video number 1. We dug a little bit deeper in video number 2. Today we're going to talk about all the art supplies that I use. And in the next video, so a little bit of a spoiler alert, I'm going to then invite you to join the full program so you can find out what that's all about. You can't sign up for it yet. Registration is not open yet, not ready for you yet. So, well, it actually depends when you're watching this, but when this video is first released, it's not ready. So by the time video 4 is released, the doors will open on the program. So before we waste any more time, because I know your time is so valuable, let's dig right in and talk about art supplies. And especially, I'm going to make that so much easier for you than it was for me, because I'm going to teach you everything I know, and I'm going to guide you and show you the way. So let's talk about art supplies. Here's the thing about art supplies. Funny thing is, people really get stuck on it and they obsess. Really, you just have to pick something and go with it. So you don't need 50 pens. I'm going to show you everything I have, but you don't need it all. Because remember, at the end of the day, you want to be able to fit your journal and your art supplies in your purse. So at bare minimum, you need to be able to write things down, erase your mistakes somehow, and add color. And really, that's it. Now, don't worry. I'm going to be telling you exactly which pens and exactly which journal and exactly everything. And I'll be emailing you the complete art journal supply list tomorrow. But first, so I promised I would show you the journal. Are you ready? You just need one of these composition books with graph paper on it. The exact pen I'm using right now is a Uniball Signo black pen. Basically, any pen that is used to write checks is great because they're waterproof and permanent ink. The lettering I'm doing these days, I've been experimenting with lots of different pens, including watercolor markers, Sharpie pens. I like the water-based paint pens very much. Faber-Castell makes beautiful markers. I love those pens. Tombow markers. This is showing a black one. Actually, I have them in different colors. Uniposca has a great line of pens. I don't have exactly the ones shown here, but I do have some of their pens and I've been using them and they're absolutely awesome. Okay, now I need to pause a little bit in my art supply listing because I just want to caution you that you do not need to go out and buy every single pen on this list. My daughter just uses a set of highlighter pens, and actually I didn't put that on the list since I don't use it, but she uses a special set that she likes. Doesn't matter what she uses. The point is, if you do decide to take the class, all you really need is a pencil and paper and a pen, and you do not need my pens or my pencil. Now, if you want to create some of the same special effects that I do, then you may want to go out and get some of these specialized pens. But you probably are going to want to watch the lesson first and then decide if you want to invest in the art supply to create the certain kind of effect. Now, before we move along, I'm also going to talk about the different gessos and mediums that I use in my art journal. And again, you don't have to buy everything on the list. It's just for creating special effects. And I do use these for doing lettering. So in this Painting with Words course, there really isn't a lot of collage going on. It's going to be using just the supplies on this list. Okay, so in this class, I'm using matte medium. And I also use glazing medium, and you'll find more about that in the full class. I use some white gesso, and I'm also using clear gesso, and I even use Golden's absorbent ground. So if you've bought that for any of my other classes, I'm bringing it out again. You're going to use lots and lots of washi tape. So if you have a huge washi tape collection like I do, here's your chance to use up your stash. I'm also going to invite you to use your favorite stencils, and you can bring out your favorite acrylic paints. They can be the cheap ones, but you can use the more expensive ones if you like. You're going to use some cheap brushes, some cosmetic sponges for stenciling. A great eraser is a gray kneaded rubber eraser. I know it looks fancy, but it's really only $1 or $2. And I love the Papermate pencil. You're also going to need tracing paper, and you're going to need some transparency paper. You might want to incorporate some of Tim Holtz's tissue paper or some decorative napkins. An old plastic card also comes in handy for creating a quick and easy background. Okay, so that's all, folks. Here are the 6 things you absolutely need: composition book, a glue stick, a pencil, some pens, the mysterious gessos, but only if you want to get really fancy, and lots of washi tape. And pretty much all of this you can find in the office supply store, even the washi tape, really all of it. Except, well, maybe not the mysterious gessos. Those you'll need to go to an art store. But you don't have to be Picasso to learn how to use all this stuff. In fact, you probably already have most of it at home. I'm willing to bet that you have most of this in your house. And if you don't feel like getting the fancy, mysterious gessos, you could probably make do without them and still have a beautiful art journal. My daughter doesn't use any mysterious gessos at all. Okay, so just promise me, do not let art supply overwhelm hold you back. In fact, you're not going to let fear hold you back at all, because I am going to help you. So if you didn't take notes, which is totally fine, if you look right below this video, I have a link so you can click on that and get the complete supply list. And if you're at work and you can't do that right now, don't worry about that either. I will email you tomorrow the complete supply list. It's got all the Amazon links you want, so you can be able to find the exact things that I use to download my supply list. It's absolutely free. Just another gift that I want to give to you for showing up here today and spending time with me. So I bet you're wondering, how are you going to put all this together? And you have this great juicy supply list, and how I put it all together to paint words in my art journal. Because the next email, I'm going to be pulling back the curtain, and I'm going to give you an opportunity to actually join me in the Painting with Words class. So you're not going to want to miss that, because I don't know if you guys knew what happened the last time I opened registration on my Mixed Media Madness class. I only kept the registration open for a few days, and unfortunately there were a few people who were really disappointed and missed out, and I don't want that to be you. So really fast, I can give you a quick teaser. What is Painting with Words? Well, it's going to be 8 steps to basically to art journaling empowerment. And these are the types of lessons you're going to get in the Painting with Words course. We're going to create sacred words. We're going to write affirmations. And let me tell you that, unlike what I did in this quick series, every single exercise of creating mantras, creating affirmations, creating sacred words, every single one, I'm going to go through a different lettering style or a different way to embellish your words. So I'm combining the empowerment of art journaling with the whole techniques of creating these beautiful letters. There's a handwriting transformation, and that's going to take place over several lessons. Don't worry if you have bad handwriting. My regular handwriting isn't too pretty either, so that's why I like transforming it. We're going to write soul goals together, and we're going to do some exercises that I call unpacking your heart. We're going to do some forgiveness exercises, again, all at the same time, learning these beautiful lettering techniques. We're going to create a love list, an attitude of gratitude. So keep an eye out. It's your invitation. There's 4 awesome modules. There's 18 video lessons, and there are even some beautiful bonuses that I haven't mentioned yet, which I will be talking about next time. My classes are a little different. For those of you who haven't taken class with me yet, I make sure I make the most use of your time. Just like in this series, I know your time's valuable, and I want to make sure that every time we get together that I am giving you the most value I can. Whether it's a free class or a paid class, I want to give you lots and lots of value. My lessons are very highly edited videos. It's not like there's long passages of just watching me do something redundant and boring. I edit all that stuff out, and at the same time, there's nothing left out. Everything is shown to you step by step. Everything you need is there, and nothing you don't. Next time I see you will be in your inbox. Open that up as soon as you get it so you can watch video number 4. And don't forget, the invitation will only be good for a very, very short time. So in the meanwhile, leave me a comment. I have been reading all your comments. I love them very much, so thank you. And if you're not on Facebook, you can go ahead and email me. So I'll talk to you soon. Thanks so much again for joining me today. Bye-bye.